right, well, welcome on in as we continue on with our good friend Jackson coming into our classes. He's going to be doing basically everything that Sarah was doing in the past, which means that he's doing some light warm-ups. He's got a foam roller back here. I've encouraged him to do that, and I encourage you all to do the same out there, or at least just some movement while I'm talking to kind of just get you loosened up and ready to go. What we need equipment-wise today, we are looking for a pillow. So make sure that you got yourself a good throw pillow close by. Also, 2 light weights and or 2 moderate weights. So this might be a good day to bring out the cans or maybe a couple of those water bottles. And of course, if you got some weights, maybe 10 pounds would be your maximum that I would encourage you having lifting through here. Although Ed, we'll give you 12.5 for those, so you can go as high as 12.5. Once again, we've got like our 222s going on. So the 222s will be at the end of our warm-ups. It'll be after half of the workout, and it'll also be done at the back end of it. We combo that, or I shouldn't say combo. We have the 222s, and then we do our mobility movement of the day and our core 3. Our core 3 stays the same from Tuesday, just to kind of key you into that. And then we've got 3 combo movements and Tabata as kind of those main chunks of the workout that we're working through. Okay, if you can do the barefoot thing, great. If you don't want to do it barefoot, if your feet need a little bit of support, put on some shoes. That is always okay with us through here. If you got injuries, be mindful of what you're doing. Pay attention to things. Bright or sharp pains are an absolute no-no. Keep yourself safe into what you're doing. And if you got some of your own tunes, put that play button on. We're going to have some light jams out here, but I don't think they show up too well on your guys' end. Let's get into the warm-ups. We're going to start facing the floor. Hands and knees position. We're going to start out with our bird dogs here. So hands are underneath. We're going to lift up opposite handed foot. We're going to bring them back down and then just switch them on over. So throughout this, I want you to work on nice extension through the back heel, as well as nice reaching through the forward fingers. Yeah. See if you can feel maybe even your belly stretch a little bit as we open these. One more. All right, next up we go flat to the floor. Scorpion kick position, arms go wide. All right, from here, bring one foot up, wrap it around to that opposite side, bring it down with control, and switch. There you go. You don't need to go super far through this. Somewhere where you do want to be able to maintain the other leg staying in touch with the floor. All right, and last 2 here. And last one. All right, hands under the shoulders, plank position, and then walk your hands back to your feet. Stand up nice and tall, bring the arms up overhead. All right, from here, we're going to work our way into the low squat. We want to make sure that our feet are wide enough to get that squat when we're down below. We're going to start with going fingers to toes. We're going to swing our hips a little side to side. 3, 2, and then sit down from there. Let's open up your chest, kind of tall through your spine. Move around a little bit if you need to. And then stand through those heels. Reach up, down with the fingers to the toes. The hips swing a little side to side. Okay, our low squat happens next. Straighten that spine up. Move around a little bit down here. 3, 2, 1. Bring it up. Reach on up. And last one, fold it back down. Little side to side. 3, 2, bring it down. Okay. Tall eyes, tall neck. 3, 2, and stand up nice and tall. Okay, next up is our Frankenstein kick. So we want one foot to reach out to an opposite hand in front. Take your time through this. Wake up a little bit of that balance, a little bit of that back leg stretching. All right. If you want to put some breathe into it, as you kick, you breathe out. Good. 3, 2, and one more. Good. Next up is our golf stance. So we want some room to be able to open behind us. We're going to start in our athletic position. We've got our knees bent, our hands pointed out in front. From here, we're going to stand up and open and bring it right back down into that squat and reverse. Stand open, squat, hands together. All right, right here, breathe in, lift up. exhale down, last 2, inhale, lift, exhale down, last 1, inhale, lift, exhale down. Okay, just real quickly, we want to do what we did on Tuesday, which is fine-tuning, understanding, doing the deadlift, and our bent over fly. I want you to do it with us. We're going to do it without weight. We're going to get ourselves into a normal position where our feet are about shoulder width apart. We're going to have our hands as our weights right in front of the legs, and we're going to make sure that those lat muscles are down and active. So keep those back muscles down and active. We're going to go down through it, eyes kind of following, and then stand up with a little bit of a hip thrust to squeeze your butt. Steady coming down. Good. And then as we come up, a little hip thrust. Give me one more. Smooth coming down. And up. Good. Come to the bottom of that. Tighten the belly. Keep it tight. And pretend like you got some weights as you lift up and control back down. If you needed to, for these flies, you're always welcome to keep the elbows bent and to do more of that W or that chicken wing fly as well. So with that, let's get ourselves into 2-2-2s. So I need you to have 2 weights on either side of your mat, and you could even start doing your push-ups on your weights if you feel good. But we've got push-ups first, then we go deadlifts, then we go those flies, and we finish up with those squats for 1 minute apiece. Let's get set up. We're going to get started officially in 3, in 2, in 1. We start with the 2 push-ups. Now, of course, you could start with those push-ups on the knees right off the bat. You step up, you straighten that spine. Great. So show me those perfect deadlifts we were just practicing. Bring it back down and go to the fly or the W position next. And then bring those weights up in front of you and give me 2 good squats through there. Good. Weights down to the floor. Find your push-ups. Give me 2 of them. You're already halfway through this, folks. Let's make sure that we get through at least 2 circuits, if not even tack on another bit of push-ups or deadlifts. Good. Bend it over. Keep that bent position. Let's keep those core muscles good and active so that we're safe into what we're doing here. All right, we got ourselves about 5 seconds remaining. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Now your mobility move of the day. You're going to start with your feet together. You're going to do 1 step back to a split stance, and then you're going to wrap that foot around and bring it down. Okay? Step back first, lift the foot, wrap it around, bring it down. Next side, step it back, rotate it around, and down. Okay, so just kind of working through this, taking your time, practicing it. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit of balance challenge going on. Once we're done with this, we've got our core 3. We've got 10 seconds transition to the side on the floor. We're going to transition in 3, in 2, in 1. Come down to your side. Extend out your arms and your legs. We're going to be kneading an opposite hand and foot. We're going to get you started in 3, 2, and 1. Bring it up and control it going back down. Now, more manageable approach, you just bend those knees. You give me even a little bit of an elbow crunch to those knees as that more manageable option here. Once we finish this side, we have no break in between. We turn and switch directly to the next side. All right, we switch in 3, in 2, in 1. Turn it, keep moving. Minimize rest time. And after we're done with this side, we finish with our mountain climbers once again. So Jackson's doing a great job of not only getting high extension, but really controlling coming back out of that motion. You've heard me say this before, is the best thing you can do to get yourself stronger into here is control the downward part. Coming to the floor. We go mountain climbers in 3, in 2, in 1. Go to the floor, facing the floor. Get into that good straight line with the body and bring those knees in from there. Good, so you'll notice Jackson's doing a great job of keeping his lats engaged, and that way he's not arching up from the floor. Once again, bringing those knees in and with some authority so that we're getting that heart rate to drive up. And we are officially done with your warm-ups in 3, in 2, In 1, that is break time, everybody. That is high five time. Jackson's jumping around here like Spider-Man. We're doing good. We're doing real good. All right. So, Jackson and I are going to be showing your movements from here. We've got 3 combo movements for 40 seconds apiece. We've got 20 seconds of active recovery, each of those movements. Staying the same as before. We'll count through those as we're in the movement. First up, 2 moderate weights. Cans, maybe just in some lighter weights. We're going to start with a lateral lunge. So we're going to step out to one side, sit back and down with the hips, open the arms wide, and then bring it right back tall. So stepping out, squatting, bringing those arms apart, and bringing it right back to the top. One side only for that one, right? If you need a more manageable approach, you're just not going super low into that squat. You're still going to keep those elbows bent if you need it for the shoulders as well. Your second movement, we grab the pillow and we come down and we sit down on our butt. Now today, this is a new thing with the pillow. We're going to put the pillow between the knees and we're going to keep the feet close together and we're going to keep some pressure of the knees on that pillow. Okay, so first thing, we're into this hip press where the hips come up, stay up, one leg goes up, extends, comes back down, and then switches to the next side. So we're going to maintain your butt off the floor the whole time as we're going through this. If you needed to, you could just give me that simple press up and down as your more manageable approach. Our third and final movement, we put the pillow to the side. We're doing a combination of a plank with some heel lifts as well as a push-up. So basic plank position is right here. We're going to lift one heel up, bring it down, next heel up, and then one push-up. Okay? This could be done from the knees, keeping those hips forward. One heel up, next heel up, and then that knees push up from there. Okay, so you've got some options as we work our way through here. Once again, we'll go over your active recovery. We've got 3 movements, and then we'll take a quick break to follow. So I'm going to finish talking. I want you to grab your medium to light weights, and we're going to get this thing started very, very shortly. All right, 10 seconds, we get ourselves moving. It's going to start to one side only for your lateral lunge. You're stepping out and sitting and pulling in 2, in 1, sit into it, open the arms, and come back tall. Same side. If you need to in the beginning, take it slow. So one of the things I've keyed you into with a little bit of Jackson is he does have some knee issue that he's recovering from. Him and I talked about that at the beginning of the workout. I said step into it slowly and find it, and I want you all to do the same if you need it. Find your movement first before you start adding speed or depth into it. Perfect. Okay, so we got a little over 5 seconds. Then we're going to be doing active recovery. The weights will go down in 2, in 1. Put the weights down, kick your butt, and swing your arms. Okay, so just kind of opening and kicking. You got it. Second movement, we're sitting on the floor with the pillow. Let's bring it down. Pillow between the knees. Hip press in 3, 2, 1. One leg extension, then the next. As we're doing this, you need to feel that whatever leg stays, that leg is taking over the balance as well as the power of that hold. Right? Now, if you can tighten your belly right here, we can wake up more. We can start getting more out of our exercise. And you could even push your hands down into the floor, integrating a little bit of those lat and back muscles as well. More manageable approach. Both feet stay on the floor and you give me that hip press still with the pressure against the pillow. In 3, 2, 1. Remove the pillow, sit up, knees go side to side. Okay? Knees kind of swinging from one side over to the other. A nice way to open our hips. We're going to finish with our plank. Got the heel lifts to the push-up. Let's have everyone turn it around, plank position. You could be on the knees or the hands. It's 1 heel lift on each side, in 2, in 1. 1 heel raises, next raises, and 1 push-up from there. Good. Once again, you could be on the knees. You could give me 1 heel lift from the knees, 2 heel lifts, and 1 good push-up from there. All right, so we got ourselves 20 seconds. Work through strong, stable stance, right? In control with what we're doing. We've got 10 more seconds, and then we're going to finish with our low cobra active recovery. So in 3, 2, 1, lower down to the elbows, put them underneath your shoulders, breathe in and bring the top half of the body up a little bit, breathe out, lower towards the floor. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. One more time, inhale, lift, exhale, lower, and you are on your first break here. Nicely done. Hopefully we are figuring out what's going on. I am not going to give you guys much break time at all. We're going to go to the lateral lunge coming up on your second side. Let's hit that stop, that reset. 10 seconds, we will get you going. So pick your second side, have those weights in front of the legs. You step out in 3, in 2, in 1. You get that nice sitting pattern into it. Okay, step it out, sit back with those hips, engage that heel on the outside leg, and then of course we've got those arms opening when you come to that bottom point. Perfect. Once again, he's doing a good job. I want it to be slow and steady, especially for him because of those knee issues. And he's keeping the knee kind of pushing outward. That looks really smooth. We got 10 more seconds. Our active recovery, we're going to put the weights down and kick our butts. Weights down in 3, in 2, in 1. Give me those heel kicks, heel to butt kicks. Open those arms. Okay, get a nice big inhale in, nice long exhale out. We're going to sit down and put the pillow between the knees next. Take a seat, pillow between the knees, feet close together, hip press in 3, 2, 1. Single leg extension from that hip press. And you're maintaining butt off the floor. More manageable approach, both feet are there, and we're giving that hip press just straight on up. Good. Little hand push down into the floor. Little tight belly check for each and every one of you at home. Nicely done. Nicely done. When we're on active recovery next, we remove the pillow and we go side to side with the knees. Remove the pillow in 3, 2, 1. Feet a little wide now. Knees side to side. See if you can get them to go as far as to the floor. We're going to finish up in that plank position with push-ups, and then we've got the 2-2-2s, which will follow. So be prepared for a longer set this time. Turn it around, plank position, in 2, in 1. One heel lift up. Next heel lift up. One push-up. Go to the knees if you need it. Good. So one thing I have discussed with push-ups is use your lats to bring you down. Right? See if your back muscle, your lats, can control the coming down portion. Then when you push up, it's right through the front in that chest and shoulder region. Good. 10 more seconds. Active recovery has us go low cobra next. We go low cobra in 3, 2, 1. Elbows under the shoulders. Inhale, bring your chin up. Exhale, chin rounds down. Inhale up, exhale down. Kind of work through that. 3, 2, and 1. All right, now you're staying on the floor for the push-ups, but if you need to grab your weights and adjust them, do so. I'm going to give us that 10-second countdown before we get ready for our 2-2-2s. Okay, so we got 10. 1 minute of 2-2-2s. We start on the floor with the push-ups. In 3, in 2, in 1. You knock out those 2 good push-ups. Then you step it forward. Give me those 2 good deadlifts. Right? Back muscles nice and active. Then come back down and give me 2 good flies. Elbows could be bent. Last up, weights lift up in front of the shoulders. And 2 good squats. Repeat, back to that floor. Let's get some push-ups going. Good. Step it in. Show me perfect deadlifts from here. Back muscles working, belly muscles tight. Back down and show me flies. Bend the elbows if you need it. The weights come up, stand up, 2 squats. To the floor. You got 10 seconds, folks. 10 seconds. See what you can finish. Mobility move starts in 3, in 2, in 1. You can come on up. Your feet are together to begin. One foot steps back and then wraps around to the back next to the other. Step it back, wrap it around, switch it. Okay. When every time we do a split stance, look down at that knee and make sure it's right on top of that foot as we go through it. There we go. Find visually where you're focusing your eyes. If balance is challenged, tighten those core muscles. 10 seconds. After this, we're going to go to the floor for that core 3, side position in 3, 2, 1. Bring it down to the floor. Remember, we've got 10 seconds to transition right here. Opposite hand to foot reaches in 3, 2, and 1. Everything comes up. Everything is smooth coming back down. You got it. You got it. I've said it before, I will continue to harp on this. It is the down that is the most important part of this. If you can give me a tiny hold and then extra slow stretching out as you come down, you are taking that movement to the next level here. All right, we're going to be switching our sides next. No time wasted. 2, 1. Turn it, switch it, keep on moving. There we go. There's the breathing. We got the control on the out. Putting all our good pieces together through this. Okay, remember, you can have your knees bent. More manageable approach on here. We're going to finish in mountain climbers. You got 30 seconds of mountain climbers. Those begin in 3, in 2, in 1. Face that floor. Bring those knees in. Give me some strength with that knee in, right? A little bit of oomph, a little bit of power, a little bit of pop. Good. Love it. Push in tempo if you're feeling good now. You got about 10 more seconds, and then we take a good breather here. There we go. Finish line is coming up. Drive towards it. Finished in 3, in 2, in 1. That is good. That is break time. That is rest. That is high five time. Woo! All right. The sweat show continues over here in Santa Cruz.
Classic bringing a shirt that's a little too light for something like this.
You can tuck it in if you need to.
You get to see it all.
Yeah, well, that's okay. All right, everybody. So you have the option as we go over your 5 Tabata exercises to be practicing with us. Usually what I will do is like 2 to 3 repetitions of each of the movements, especially if they're on each side. So if you want to play around with us and do that, please do. Otherwise, take your time to rest right here. Let's go over your Tabata movements. The first is one of our cardio movements, and that is our split stance. So we're going to have our right foot forward, our left foot back. We're going to reach your arms out, and you're going to bring this heel to the back of the leg. And as you do this, the arms pull down, and if you're feeling good, you start pushing tempo. If you need more manageable, you're higher up into here, and we can still work through that same motion as a more manageable approach. So we go to one side for 20, we rest for 10, and then we go to the second side for 20. Second movement, we're going to continue with doing a little bit of punching here. We're going to turn and punch to one side only. So I want you to bring your fists up kind of by your chest and your shoulders. You're going to turn to one side, bringing the heel up on the opposite. Give me a direct punch and bring it right back. Same side. Turn, punch, bring it back. Turn, punch, bring it back. When you turn, breathe out. When you punch, breathe out. Good. So you find where you're punching. We do one side for 20. We rest for 10. Then we do the second side for 20. Our third movement has you as a weight optional movement. So if you got a quick water bottle or some weight around, grab it. We're going to go down to a low squat position, and we're going to pulse that squat. We're just barely going up and down through that squat, maintaining. Now, if you needed to be a little bit higher as that manageable option, Just keep the weight on the heels and you can still work a lot of what we're working. Last two movements bring us down to the floor. We're going to be doing a bird dog, but we're going to change it up today. So please pay attention with us. I have a feeling if there's any movement that throws us for a loop, this is going to be the one it is today. So what I'm going to have us do is start out with just our regular hold. And why don't you all practice this with me? Okay, right leg up, left knee bent, or left hand up. Then I want you to bend your right knee and bring it in. And now this time, as you extend your right leg, bend your left elbow. Okay? So we're doing kind of a sawing motion, and it takes that bird dog and it kind of changes it complexity-wise. We're going to do this on one side, 20 seconds, then we rest for 10, and then we switch over to the second side. If that one gives you a little confusion, I'm going to do my best to do it slowly with you guys, so feel free to just listen to me and practice it at home, and we'll get this thing done by the end of the day, I promise. The last movement we're doing are rotating planks, so we're going to continue to stay on the hands. You're going to bring your feet wider, and that way as you turn to one side, the heels can drop to the floor. We'll bring that arm up, then we'll turn it, we'll switch it, same thing opposite side. If you need a more manageable approach, as you're on your knees, you open to one side, and that raises and straightens the top leg. Then we repeat that, turn, open, and straighten that top leg to help you get side to side through those rotating planks. All right, that is plenty of me talking. Remember, you've only got one weight option in this, and that is at your midway point for those squats. Everything else is body weight. We're going to start you in that split stance first. Arms out in front. All right, and then bringing that heel to back of the leg in 3, in 2, in 1. Pulling down, breathing out, and finding strength in that forward leg here, right? We're really putting a lot of weight into that heel, and we're using that as not only a balanced point, but somewhere we're getting a little bit of power through that leg too, really building up some strength. 2, 1, rest for 10. Second side comes up. Same position, extend those arms out. 3, 2, 1, pull it down. Good, and so Jackson is going a little slower right here because he wants to make sure he's supporting his knee and he's keeping it in a safe spot. Once again, if you've got some knee issues, follow Jackson back here in slowing things down a little bit to stay safe. 3, 2, 1. Next up, fists are in front. We've got a turn and a punch to one side only. We get started in 3, in 2, in 1. Turn to one side, breathe out, and find that same spot that you're trying to aim for. Think kind of quick and strong with that punch. And can the hip help create power through the turn? Feel the hip. In 3, in 2, in 1, we rest for 10. We switch to the next side for those punches. Fists up, feet wide. We get started in 3, in 2, in 1. Good. Breathe out. Find that spot. And hip turn, right? Get that hip to really give you power into the twist. After this, it's going to be that squat, pulse, hold, weight optional. In 2, in 1. If you need some weight, grab it. We're going to go to the low squat and pulse it. We start in 3, in 2, in 1. So holding there, maybe an inch or two going up and down. Keeping the weight on those heels and tightening that belly. 10 more seconds. When you're done with these, we're going to the floor, hands and knees next. In 3, 2, 1, hands and knees. Start with your bird dog, and now bend either an elbow or a knee. Pull one in, extend one out. 2, 1, let's knock it out. Okay, you get that still nice extension of the leg as you pull that elbow in. You extend through the fingertips as that knee comes in. Practice it. Go slow to fine tune it. 2, 1, rest for 10. If you're a little confused, start coming up and practicing on the next side. In 3, in 2, in 1. Get yourself there. Take it piece by piece as the approach. fine-tune things here, folks. 10 seconds, 10 seconds. So I'm going to make sure that that hip doesn't lift up, it doesn't rotate open. 3, 2, 1. We finish with rotating planks. Remember, you can be on the knees in that top leg straightening. In 2, in 1, rotate over, open that top hand and arm so we get even a little chest stretch at the top of that with the opener. Good. Smooth breathing, maintain control. 3, 2, and rest. Take a breather, everybody. It is timeout time. It is high five time. It's 2 more remaining time. So hopefully we did some good learning into that. We put it into action. That sawing bird dog, definitely a little funk. A little funk to that thing. All right, get ready for it. Once again, no weight except for when we get to that squat position. We start you in 10. So you're going to get into a split stance. You're going to bring those arms out in front. We're going to get started in 3, in 2, in 1. Give me that pull down and that breathe out. Use those lats as we pull down and power in that forward leg, forward foot. There we go. All right, so everyone's finding pace. In 3, in 2, in 1. Recover for 10. Next side up. Get back into that strong split stance. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Good. So find the foot in front. Push it down into the floor. Pull down with those arms. Give me some power as you pull down with those arms. We'll go finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. It's turn and punch next. Turn and punch next. Hands up here, feet a little bit wide. One side in 3, 2, 1. Create that rotation. Use that hip to really create the turn before that punch follows through. There we go. Find the focal point. Where are you aiming for? Target. 3, 2, 1. Rest for 10. Ready to switch to the next. Hands up. We get started in 3, in 2, in 1. Twist. Perfect. Remember, the heel lifts on the opposite foot to help you twist better. Good. And now that hip, that rotation and that power through that hip surge. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Wait if you want it. Low squat pulse next. We get started in 3, in 2, in 1. We stay into that down position. Small movements. Now, more manageable approach. We're going to just stay a little higher up into that stance, but we're still going to feel the heels, and we're still going to keep that belly nice and tight. We're bringing it to the floor in 3, 2, 1. Hands and knees are sawing bird dog from here. Okay. In 3, in 2, in 1. So create balance through the hand and knee that stay put, and create extension through both the back leg kick and that forward hand reach. There we go. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Go ahead and switch. All right, beginning in 3, in 2, in 1. Knock it out with the control factor. I want to see one straight extended leg. I want to see one reaching arm. Find those muscles in by creating kind of that very strong reach or stretch. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Rotating planks to finish our second round. Feet wide in your approach. 3, 2, 1. Turn it, open, and bring it down. As you turn to one side, both the heels tap to the floor. Okay? Each time, full 180 from the heels to one side over to the other. Nice hip lift. 3, 2, 1. Rest, recover. 2 of 3.
I like the hip lift.
All right, very good. So actually, that's something that I've cued everyone for quite a while, is making sure that the hips stay a little bit higher in that. Even if it's like an extra ½ inch, it really engages a lot more of those obliques underneath. So we got our final round coming up here. Remember with our final round that we are going to back-to-back it with those 2-2-2s, so maybe have the weights around and ready to go once we're completed with the Tabata set. This is the end of things, folks, so let's make sure that we're bringing the mustard today. I'm going to reset this. Got 10 seconds. Dijon, right? The good stuff. All right. We split in 3, 2, 1. You give me that strong pull down, that good breath out. If you need to be a little higher, you are welcome to it. You can find that manageable approach just by standing up slightly taller. Good. And lat pull downs, that breathing associated with it. We got it all. In 3, in 2, in 1. We rest for 10. Second side coming up. Set it up. Begin it in 3, in 2, in 1. Strong pull. Good. And once again, Jackson's slowing it down a little bit to keep himself safe. Pay attention to your own safety markers. Good. I'll just take a small breather if you need to. Do not run yourself if you're not feeling great. 3, 2, 1. Punches next. We got the hands up in front of the chest and shoulders. Twist and punch in 3, in 2, in 1. Let's go. One side. You find that focal point that we're aiming for. And you twist through that hip, right? Power through a hip twist, please. Keep working, finished up on this side. 3, 2, 1. Recover for 10. Okay, second side coming up. Reset in 3, in 2, in 1. Turn and punch. There we go. Visualize it. Hips, hips, hips. Give me power. There we go. That heel lifts to help the body twist more naturally. Finished in 3, in 2, in 1. If you need the weight, grab it. Squat, pulse next. Feet should be at least shoulder width apart. 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Lock it in right there. Abs tight. Smile ear to ear. If you need to be a little higher, you're welcome to it. Remember, if you're smiling, you are burning additional calories. There's muscles in the face getting used. Finished in 3, in 2, in 1. Bring it down to the floor. You've got that sawing bird dog. Sawing bird dog next. Hands and knees position. Start in 3, in 2, in 1. Find the extension. Pull one side in, and then reverse it. Now, once again, biggest thing I want, a strong kick going behind and a nice reach with some power going forward. Nicely done. 3, 2, 1. Switch your sides. Next side starts in 3, in 2, in 1. Give me the extension. Lock it in, right? Figure that movement out, and then think strength through the kick and through the reach. Good, good. Loving it. We go finished up on this in 3, in 2, in 1, rotating planks, those feet wider. Okay, and then we've got 2-2-2s following in 3, in 2, in 1. Rotate it and open. Flip it, switch it. Good, now let's do that little hip check here, Jackson. Hips up a little bit. Bingo. Perfect. Same thing at home. If you can turn and then bring the hips up a little bit extra. Hello, obliques. In 3, in 2, in 1. Stay on the floor, move your weights. You've got your push-ups for your 2-2-2s coming up next. All right, 10 seconds we start. On your knees or all the way up push-up style. We get started in 3, in 2, in 1. 2 good clean push-ups. You step it in, straighten your back, tighten your belly, lift. Good, bring it down, keep it there, 2 flies. Weights come up, 2 squats. Right back down and at it. Keep on going here. You are at the tail end of things, ladies and gentlemen. Keep those abs engaged to maximize what we're getting out of our movements. Also remember, abs tight not only engages more, but it keeps you safe, right? When those muscles are locked, they provide support for that low back area. Yeah, just over 10 seconds, finish out the last few reps, and then we're gonna go mobility move next. All right, put down the weights. We start mobility in 3, in 2, in 1. 1 step back, split stance, wrap that leg around, and then switch it. Split stance, wrap it around, and down. There we go. Keep the core tight to really improve the balance here. Remember that forward foot is where we're finding stability as well. 20 seconds. Once we're done with this, we go to the side on the floor and we do those core 3 movements, that side crunch to start in 10. There you go, my man. Nicely done, nicely done. Finished in 3, in 2, in 1. Come down to the floor, go onto your side. One arm up and overhead. Meet them in 3, in 2, in 1. Yep, exactly. There you go. Go slow coming back down. You show me good control. You could have your knees really bent as that manageable approach. And let's remember now, for our next 2 transitions, we have no time in between from one movement to the next. So you're going to turn and switch as quick as you can. Nicely done. You lift up, you breathe out. Finished in 3, in 2, in 1. Turn, switch, opposite side. Keep moving and control the down. Control the down. There we go. Breathing out as you lift up. Inhale. We're going to finish with 30 seconds of mountain climbers. You're going to go to the floor in 3, 2, 1. Face the floor, hands under shoulders. Show me some solid mountain climbers for 30 seconds and your day is done from here. I want you, if you got it, to push tempo here, folks. Push tempo if you got that in your energy tank. Awesome. Quick breathing as that knee comes in. Breathe out, breathe out, breathe out. Good. Last little bit. We go finished up in 3, in 2, and bend the knees and rest and turn onto your back and lie down.
Okay.
And bring your arms overhead. Woo! Randomly high five somebody if they're around you. If not, I got my virtual high fives out there for you. We'll go like a little behind the back. We'll do a turn punch high five.
There's some sound effects too.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So it's recovery time. It is time to kick into some of that belly breathing. All right. Alrighty. And if you want, you can use that pillow. You could put it right behind your head if you're feeling like it. Let's go ahead and bring a right leg up, hands behind the right thigh, and stretch the hamstring. Now, Jackson was asking me before the workout, he said, you know, I don't feel this stretch a lot. What can I do to feel that? And maybe I haven't addressed that well enough. Beyond just pulling the leg in, try to straighten the leg. Okay, so if you try to straighten this leg, that is definitely going to increase the stretch you're feeling. And then you can also pull the toes towards you by flexing that foot. And those are really going to help open up some bigger, deeper stretching. Okay, nice big belly breath in. long exhale out, and we're now going to have that right foot go a little to the left side. Not a lot, maybe a foot at the most. If you'd like to be mobile through the ankle, this is a great way to really stretch out a lot of little muscles through that kind of Achilles ankle foot complex. And then from here, we're going to bend the knee. With our left hand, we bring that knee to the floor. You look to the right side, you reach out to the right side. Once again, we're trying to keep our right shoulder in touch with the floor here. Okay, and then just gently kind of pulling against that knee towards the floor on the left side. Nice big inhale in. Nice long exhale out. Let's unwind that. And our left leg now comes straight up. Hands behind that leg. And once again, find moderate stretch discomfort. So if you need to try to straighten the leg a little bit, do it. Challenge yourself. So what we're talking about today, a little healthy snacks. So now, generally speaking, we don't recommend snacks too much, but you know, snacks are important. Oftentimes we don't have time for a meal, and so the snack comes into play. Let's bring the foot just a little to that right side. Once again, if you'd like to mobilize the ankle, you're welcome to it while we're stretching here. So, first off, it generally takes our bodies about 3 hours to digest the food that we've eaten from a previous meal. And so based on that, we don't usually want to keep adding food into an already processing area. From here, let's bend the knee, bring it down with the right hand towards the floor, look to the left side, reach out to that left side. And so with that being said, you know, let's also then assume that oftentimes, probably the most between our lunchtime and our dinner time, we have a larger gap of time, whether that's 5, 6, or even upwards of 7 or 8 hours. And within that time frame, I think a snack is a very, very appropriate thing that you could have going on there. So then what are some good snack options, right? Because there's plenty of junk around us, and it can be a little hard to sift through things, but if you have a plan, you can be more successful in your approach. We're going to unwind the leg. We're going to get into our butterfly stretch next. Jackson's going to stay on his back doing that. We're both going to put our bottoms of the feet together. I'm seated upright, and I'm going to just make sure that my spine is tall as I'm through here as well. Knees pressed down, and we kick back into that deeper, slower breathing. So when people ask me about snacks and snack ideas, I always tell them that my number one choice is getting some form of raw vegetables that I like to eat with some kind of a dip, like a hummus, or if you don't know, bitchin' sauce. Bitchin' sauce is awesome. It is made out of like almonds, grapeseed, oil, water. I mean, just like really good ingredients through there, as is hummus as well. So you get some good protein through that, and it makes those raw vegetables a lot more tasty. Let's get a nice big inhale in. Nice long exhale out. We're going to release the legs, and we're going to come up and get into our split kneeling position. So we're going to say that your left knee is down and that your right foot is out in front. We're going to squeeze your butt on that left side. We're going to bring your left arm up, and if you can remove that right arm, just so you're balancing a little bit extra, even better. So, you know, first off, we had talked a little prebiotics and probiotics, and how prebiotics, you could often say, were basically raw fruits and vegetables, and the fiber being used to help your gut stay healthier. Well, I struggle with just eating raw vegetables unless it's kind of like snack time and I have one of those dips to mix with it. So this is my best cheat code for staying healthy with your snacks here. Nice big inhale in, nice exhale out. Let's go ahead and drop and switch the knees. Right knee down, left foot in front, and we'll get into that nice high reach. We'll squeeze the glute behind you on that right side, and just fingers high to really open up that whole side body. Beyond that, we have so many variations of options from different types of yogurts. If you are doing a yogurt, try to make sure that there's not some added sugars into there. Generally, your regular or unflavored or unsweetened options are going to have more of that health quality to them. Nice big inhale in, nice long exhale out, and then from here we're going to bring ourselves into a comfortable seated position. whatever that is for you. I'm going to have my feet out in front. I'm going to cross my knees. But if you like to be on the heels or have those feet out in front, totally okay with that too. We're going to put your left hand down and your right arm is going to reach over to that left side. We're going to hold this. I want you to think about kind of pulling the fingertips away from the body. And as you breathe in deeply, let's feel those rib cage muscles open up a little bit. So if you are doing things like a string cheese or a yogurt or a cottage cheese, or even hard-boiled eggs, beef jerky, anything like that that are heavier proteins, I do firmly believe that it's important to be getting those from a good source, maybe a grass-fed or an organic source, because those meats and dairies oftentimes can be some of our most polluted foods if they don't come from an organic source. Let's go ahead and bring that right hand down. Let's switch it over. Left arm now reaching to the right side. Okay, gentle with your head and neck. And finding that bigger breath in, and nice breath out. And same for, like, tuna is actually one of Sarah's favorite snacks. So she'll have tuna and she'll mix it with a quarter of an avocado as opposed to the mayonnaise. And she'll have some healthy crackers, and we recommend Mary's Gone crackers over here. Really good, healthy, whole grains, full of a lot of seeds, like just great ingredients that go nicely with some tuna. So you get some healthy fats with your proteins and some good seeds in there as well. Let's bring it on down through here, and we're going to finish with your neck stretching. One hand goes behind your head, behind your back. The other just lightly pulls the head to the side and slightly down. If you want to talk about like a probiotic option, pickles, and we had mentioned in a previous pickle discussion, once again, to not only look out for the added sugars, but for it to be a probiotic, it needs to be in brine. Salt water, not vinegar. If it's in vinegar, you won't get the probiotic quality to it. Let's go ahead and breathe in deeply, have a nice exhale, and switch it over. But generally speaking, I think the best way to be successful with snacking is figuring out how you can incorporate some fruits or some vegetables, and preferably some raw fruits or vegetables into what you're doing. Right? So some fun examples can be like jicama, and you can put like some chili salt on it, or you could slice some tomatoes, it's tomato season, and you put some balsamic vinaigrette with a little feta cheese. Go ahead and stand up, shake up, or say, just release the arms, shake it out. Everybody, I want you to use those snack options. I'm hoping one or two of those has hit home, because those are really like the best ways that I have found to be successful in the middle of my days, so that when it comes to dinner time, I am not just starving and famished and way overeating. All right, that's enough for us today. We will be back tomorrow. We'll see you then.